Hey guys, this is Jason
This is
Douglas.
Adam MacArthur, voice of Yuji Itadori.
This is Derek Snow, the voice of Shinra Kusakabe.
This is Phil Parsons, voice of Kenny the Ripper Ackerman.
It's Merc New One. You are watching Voice of the Heroes. Take it away, Flea Boy.
What's good, everybody? You know who it is and what it is. And if you don't, it's the one and only one, Fleeboy Jetson. And you're watching Voice of the Heroes podcast. So if you're tuning in for the first time, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, click that notification bell so you can be notified whenever we have discussions or live interviews with your favorite heroes and villains from around the world. And today we got a very special guest. That's right. She's been in the biggest action-packed anime show of the year, Solo Leveling as Lee Johi. That's how you say that, right? Johi?
Lee Juhi.
Juhi.
Yeah.
Juhi. All right, caught me off guard there. And also Becky Black Bell from Spy Family and so many more. Let's welcome Dani Chambers to the show, aka Skinny Mini. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Let's talk about the name Skinny Mini. How did that come about?
So, I used to play basketball when I was in middle school and high school, and so
you was
my
a
teammate.
hooper. Let me find out.
I was a point guard, shooting guard. So, yeah, and so I was really, really tiny, like really tiny on the team. So they would call me like Daddy Long Legs or, Spaghetti Legs or something. And then my teammate, her name was Brittany. She came out with Skinny Mini, and so that's what they called me after that. And then so she wrote on my like shirt during one of our like practices, and she's like Skinny Mini, and I was like, that's really cute. So I kind of kept that, and I was like, that's kind of adorable. I'm not like as skinny as I was then, but I just kept with the name because it's just really cute.
And it's not only a handle for social media, but for your Twitch also, right?
Yeah, because I wasn't doing voice acting when I first started with Twitch, so I'm like, well, the name's there. I guess I can't change it.
Nah, I like it. I actually looked at some of your content. It was hysterical. You and one of your
Thanks.
friends going back and forth.
Yeah.
What's your favorite game of all time?
Paper Mario 64. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. I love it. What kind of games are you into now?
Oh, RPGs, of course. Visual novels are great. Lots of like old school Pokemon. I play a lot of like older games, not just for the sake of nostalgia, but because I kind of miss that. But I love a lot of new indie games that have come out. They have been really cool. So any adventure stuff, anything that has to do with a really good story, like Octopath Traveler, Flint Buckler, and the what is it? Flint. It's called Flint Buckler and something Castle. I can't remember. But like there's so many indie games and stuff that I like, and it reminds me of a lot of old school. Like Chrono Trigger is one of my favorite games as well. And there's a new game coming out called Threads of Time that's almost like in the same vein of it. And I'm like, oh yeah, absolutely. I gotta play that game. So it's not out yet, but once it comes out, I'm all over it.
That's right, man. Make sure y'all go follow that Skinny Mini on Twitch, man. Go support that. Links will be in the description below. Now let's get to it, man. You're in one of the biggest action-packed animes of the year. I hope it becomes animated of the year because big shout out to my boy Cross. He put me on the Solo Leveling a few years ago, and I was hooked. And once they made the anime, it kind of like, I don't know, man, because they went beat by beat with it from what I've read. So, it kind of took the experience a little bit away from me. So, that's why I don't read ahead of some of the shows I like to watch. But man, your character, you was in 9 episodes. What was the experience like?
It was fun. My girl, she's more of a healer, and so you don't really see a lot of like healers in action in anime. You just see them like to the sidelines, but you kind of got to see her like in the action a little bit. Though she's, not a fighter, but she's there to jump in to heal and like buff and do whatever she can to help other people. She's more than willing to like sacrifice herself for other people. And you kind of see the confidence that she gains throughout the show, even though she's not in it every episode, but you can still kind of see her growth of what she goes throughout the whole season. And I don't want to talk about spoilers yet, just in case anybody hasn't watched it yet. But she kind of has this moment where she realizes, like, hey, I got to take care of me, and whatever that entails, I just got to do it.
Yeah, it's a fantastic season. Season 2 has been announced and scheduled for January 2005. So I'm excited for you, man. I can't wait to revisit that world. How excited are you about it? And also, y'all just dropped the game for it. Solo Leveling Arise. The video
Hmm.
game is out. I'm pretty sure more to come. So yeah, I'm excited for y'all, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'm excited too. Can't wait for more. It's gonna be so excited. I'm not sure if we're gonna see my girl in there or not, but that's okay. I'm totally fine because this show is really good. This story is just really cool. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm excited. I wish I knew more, but I don't. And I'm like, no, I want to know everything.
Now it be like that sometimes, man. They keep you in the dark until they call you back. Hey, we need you for. So yeah,
Yep.
something else that just got renewed and is in the works. Spy Family, a new season, and you're on
Oh.
the show. Becky Black Bell. So tell us a
Hmm.
little bit about your character for those who haven't seen Spy Family.
So Becky Black Belt is the rich BFF of
Mhm.
Anya, self-proclaimed BFF. She is an adorable kid who can't grasp the life of anything that Anya lives. Because she's, rich. She doesn't grasp like kind of fun things necessarily that normal kids do. She's like, my daddy just buys me whatever I want. So it's just, she's just very oblivious to that. But she's very like got Anya's back. She's there to take care of her when Damien's like beating down on her. So she's literally like her ride or die, and I love Becky for that. So I'm excited that's coming back. Hopefully we could see more of her and Anya's relationship even flourish in their friendship. It is so cute. Yeah, and I enjoy it a lot. It's fun. I love her a lot, and I really hope we get to see more.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited for the next season of Spy Family. Let me know if you are in the comment section below. Code Gias Rose of the Recaptured. I think I said that right, right?
I think so.
I want to talk about that because I was never really into that
Mhm.
series coming up. So I want you to sell me on it because I had Jim Ferrando on here one time, right?
Ah, I love Jim. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was talking about Wistoria, and as soon as we got off the interview, I went binged it, and Wistoria is probably like in my top 3 animes this year. It's
Oh,
definitely
nice.
Solo Leveling Wistoria, so I like to talk a little bit about the projects that y'all are in. That
Hmm.
way, because it gives me a nice little watch list. So let's talk about your character in that series for a second.
Yeah, Catherine Sabathera is a very complicated character. By far, I think to this day, for me personally, I think has been one of the hardest characters that I've had to record.
Mm.
Not because the voice was difficult, but getting her personality and her like character down. I'm used to playing like cute little babies and little good girls. She was just playing like, evil. She had her own issues she was working through. And so having to still be kind of like that sexy devilish girl who does what she wants was really hard for me at first. And thanks to Stephanie Shea, Michael, and Ruben and everybody at NYV Post, it was so cool. Working with them was really good. I was so nervous as heck though, but like it was cool because we got to dive deeper into a character that had a lot more complications than I realized during recording. So we had to like go into that and like pull that out and figure out how to show that she's having these conflicted feelings even though she's working for the bad guys. She's still having these conflicted feelings about herself and what is like true power and things like that, to where she's like, okay, where do I stand on this? Because nothing is working anymore. So I love that. I love that inner turmoil that she's dealing with. And we get to see it, not as much, but we get to see it in like her battles, in her conversations with the princess, and it's like, oh, you just want to learn more about her. So I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah, it was really fun. I loved doing it. I loved working with everybody and having that connection with her too, to figure out like what's best for her, was really really fun to work with. So it was truly an honor.
That's dope. Now talking about, media, there's a lot of anime out there to watch. You know, a lot of shows, they're just feeding us a whole bunch. Like, I think, let alone in October, we had over like 16 premieres
Oof.
of, different animes and things like that.
Mhm.
Growing up, what was like your shows for you? I'm a little bit older, so for me it was like Ninja Turtles
Mhm.
and Thundercats and all that type of stuff, and then of course Power Rangers, X-Men,
Mhm.
things like that. What was it like for you to grow up on those Saturday mornings? What was you watching?
Ooh, I watched a lot. Anime, plenty of anime. Like Toonami was where it's at. Dragon Ball Z, Tenchi Muyo was my jam. As far as other regular cartoons like Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, lots of Cartoon Network shows. Foster's Home was really good. Oh gosh. And then when I was little, like Franklin, the turtle Franklin, Little Bear, um, gosh, Richard Scary's, what is it? The World of Richard Scary. It was like this worm guy in an apple car,
I
and
think I know what you're talking about, low
people know what I'm
key.
talking about if they see.
Out of
Yeah.
all of those shows, right? If you could get a remake from any one of them, what would you like them
Oh
to remake?
gosh. Which ones hasn't been remade already? Oh, that's hard. That's really hard. I would. Oh man. I think Dexter's Laboratory would be fun to be redone. Because I
Mhm.
love the new Wish, Fairly Odd Parents. I think that's really good. Um, that one's really really fun. I think Dexter's Lab would be fun if they stuck with like the original voice actors and everybody. I think it'd be amazing.
Good one, good one. Now, out of all the anime shows that you yourself been a part of, which one would you like to see turned into a live action?
Oh God. I don't know if I want live action.
Hey, Netflix got everybody feeling this kind of way about that,
Well, the
man.
One Piece one is great. I like that one, but it's a hit or miss because it depends on the anime, and it depends what they're going to keep and what they're going to leave out. Because anime is in like a 24 episode or more, kind of thing, and it works different in Japan than it does here. So eh, like if you're doing something that's like super magical, it has like lots of mechs and stuff like that. I don't know if that would be good to to do because all it would be just like CG the anime, you know. And sometimes that's fine, but like if it's not needed, I don't think we need to. So I would like to answer. I hope they don't.
All right, so we'll skip that question. Because I heard they just announced a Naruto live action movie,
Oh, really?
Lionsgate. Yeah, and Daniel, man, the guy who did Shang-Chi, I think is supposed to direct that. I don't know if
Interesting.
it's
Okay.
true, but you know how rumors are. So
Yeah.
hey, let's see what happens. Now let's get a little personal. Let's get in,
Mhm.
a question for you. How did what inspired you to become an actor?
Well, I have always been acting since I was 6. I did a lot of plays, a
Mm.
little bit of film and TV, but that didn't really last very long. I wasn't a huge fan of that. But yeah, I love acting. I like telling stories. I love making people laugh, cry, feel other emotions that maybe they've never felt before from other people's stories, and I want to convey that a lot. And so, when I wanted to get into voice acting, I was like, I don't see a lot of, black folk in anime and in the, in the voiceover world besides, like Cree Summer, Phil Lamar, people that I grew up with. And I was like, I want to see more of that specifically in the anime region. And so I started taking classes and working hard and like a few years later finally in it and I wanted to make a difference because um we're a very diverse world and there's more diverse voices and I wanted to make that clear. So um I get to do what I love and spread a positive message that we're here and you can hear our voice. And yeah, it's been a blast. It's been a whirlwind of emotions and ups and downs, but I'm glad to be where I am. I'm very blessed and honored to be here.
And through that journey, when did you discover your range? Because I tell you, your range, I went through some of your voices and you could go ahead and play teenage boys, little boys, white women, black women, a monster. You can do it all. So when did you discover that range throughout that journey?
Practice at home or with friends or even in my first sessions. uh like I like my range where it's at, but I always want to do more. So it's always just like practicing, or if I hear something like, I wonder if I could do something like that voice. Like I hear it and I'm like try to mimic it and then put my own flair on it and try to make it work. But all it is literally just practice, just practicing at home like a crazy person, talking to myself constantly, you know. But it works. I mean, you know, practice makes permanent, and you just gotta keep doing it.
Do you ever scare your significant other? Wait, who's she talking to?
No, not
Well,
at all. No, it's normal. He's an actor too, so he's like,
oh,
he understands.
okay, because I know sometimes I'll be in here talking to myself, and they be like, "Who you talking to?" And I'll be like, "Yeah," and I just be, rehearsing for the interview, or like trying to get my notes right. All
Mhm.
right, now let's talk about actors in general. Let's talk about what would be your Mount Rushmore of voice actors if we was to create one. So everybody can't go on here. There's only four
I
spots.
know.
So who would you
Dang,
choose?
that's hard. I really had to think about that. I guess. Well, is it like for all voiceover in general, or is it
All
like specifically
voiceovers.
anime?
You can go
Dang.
movies, you can go cartoons, you can go anime.
Uh, God. Cree
Think
Summer
about
for
who
sure.
inspired you.
Yeah, that's I'm like a lot of people inspire me. Cree Summer for sure. Phil Lamar. Those two definitely. Dang. I don't know who the next two are. I really have to think about it because there was a lot. Laura Bailey
Good one.
and oh gosh. Oh,
Got one more spot for one more.
yeah. Dang. Mm, oh God, I don't know. I don't
We'll
know.
let you sit on the last
Yeah, let
one
me sit
for
on
a
that one and
second.
I'll get back to you on that.
And let's talk about something that you do know, your watch list. What are you
Mhm.
watching and what would you recommend to people?
Ooh. So for right now, I'm not really watching anything.
Mm.
But if I could recommend, what was the one I was just oh, I'm a little biased with this one. I'm not in it, but I helped direct it. It's
Oh,
called
you do some directing?
yeah, yeah. I got to direct
Okay.
a few shows by myself. It was really cool. Um, this one is called Campfire Cooking in Another World with My Absurd Skill. It's like a 20 to 30-year-old guy who accidentally got isekai'd with some other teenagers into this other world. And, you know, they each have their own like powers and stuff and whatnot. But his skill is called online grocery. And so people are like, what is that? So he finds out that he pretty much has Amazon on his as his skill, and he has like a unlimited like what are those called item boxes. So he goes throughout the world just doing whatever. He's like, I don't want to fight, I just want to live. And so he meets this familiar while he's cooking, because the familiar's like, I smell food. And he's like, okay. He's like, feed me. He's like, okay. So he cooks him all this food, and he's like, if you feed me every day, I will be your familiar and protect you. He's like, okay. So it's just pretty much them traveling the world, trying to go do his like stuff. And each of the episodes he cooks something really good. So it's like it's fun to get like recipes, and they're really easy recipes
Oh,
too.
it's
For
actually like recipe food joints you can cook
yeah,
yourself?
yeah, he says
Oh,
like
that's
he's like,
tough.
yeah, it's
That's
dope.
tough. That's tough.
He's like, yeah, so you take this chicken, you put it in there for this amount of time, and then you so it's like not exactly a recipe, but it gives you an idea of what you can do. And it's really cool. Like it's really the food looks amazing, by the way. Anime food always looks good. So yeah, I think that's a really good one to watch. It's only 12 episodes. It doesn't leave you on like a terrible cliffhanger or anything like that, but it's a nice easy watch.
That's fire. Are there any upcoming or ongoing anime series you would like to be a part of? Like you might have
Oh
read a
man.
manga, a friend might have told you, hey, they got this anime coming out.
There's one I think that may be coming out. It's like Witch Hat Alterier or something like that. It's like a fantasy magic kind of show that I think it's coming out next year. But yeah, if we ever get to dub that, I will be like, can I please audition for this, please?
I ain't
It
gonna
looks
lie,
really cool.
lately them fantasy magic shows, they've been hitting lately.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I would recommend Frieren. That's a really
Oh,
good one.
yeah. That got anime of the year in 2023, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Oh, I think did it? No, because it came out this. Wait, did it come out this year or last year? I don't remember. But it's a really, really good one. Beautifully animated. The story is so unique. It's so different, and the main character is a female, and it's like you like her. Like she's fun. She's like she's complicated, but you're interested in her story. And it's so cool because you're like rooting for all the characters like that. And it's so wonderful. And I highly recommend that one as well.
Definitely. I've definitely seen clips of it, and I got it in my watch list. It's just so much to take in right now. So many different
Mm-hmm.
anime shows. Speaking of anime shows, right? Some people you know, consume their media differently. And I want
Mm-hmm.
to ask you, how do you consume yours? Do you like the weekly type thing where you get to like X-Men 97 was, or something
Mm-hmm.
like Game of Thrones, or something like that? Or do you like something like what Netflix do when they drop One Piece
Like
or they
all of
drop
them.
certain shows and they drop all of it and you get to binge right through it, or what they did with Arcane, where they're dropping 3 episodes one week, another three. How do you like to consume your media?
Um, I used to be a binger watcher because I'm not very patient. So if I'm like I want to know something, I'm like I have to know right now. But I think more of like Arcane does. Like, I think releasing like a few episodes at a time, especially if you have a longer season, it that way it kind of keeps you still wanting more. Because with the weekly stuff, yeah, that's fine. Um, but sometimes delays happen and things like that, but I feel like it's easier if you just do like, hey, here's 3 episodes at a time. We have 24 episodes or whatever, so here's a set of 3. Next week here's another set of 3. That way you can still continue the story, because sometimes during the week I'll forget, and sometimes they don't include recaps. So I'm like, oh yeah. So if I have like a 3 batch, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, cool. I know what's going on in the story. And then the next time it releases, I'm like, yeah, this happened and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I think probably like small batches are fine.
Yeah, I watched Vox Machina recently on
Mm.
Amazon Prime. And I love, it's one of my guilty pleasures. I tell people to watch it all the time. I don't know why. That and what's the other one on Netflix? I can't think right now. The Dragon Prince or something like that is another good one, fantasy one. If you
Mm-hmm.
haven't seen those two, I definitely recommend it when it comes to fantasy. What's one of the lines that resonate with you from any one of your characters on a
Mm.
personal level?
Ooh. Huh. There's mm, There's one in Genshin Impact. I voiced Nilu in
Mm,
that one, and she says, I don't remember the exact quote, but she says, like, if you're unhappy about something, let your voice be heard. So don't be afraid to speak up. And I think that's
mm,
super important in this day and age, and I think it's important to speak your mind appropriately, and if you're not happy with something, yeah, let them know, because we're human beings. We communicate different ways, but we should be at a place where we should be able to understand each other. And I think that's it's important to be open and let people know how we're feeling.
I like that answer a lot. I definitely love that answer. Do you have any upcoming projects or conventions you're able to talk about?
Yeah, I am going to Con Nichiwa in Tucson, Arizona in a couple weeks, and then I'll be at Yamacon in December. I think it's like the first weekend in December. So yeah, I'll be in Tucson, and then I forget where Yamacon is, but I'll be there.
Definitely. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Let people know where they
Yeah.
can find you at.
You can find me at Skinny Mini, SKINIMINI, everywhere.
Definitely. Links will be in the description below. This has been another episode of Voice of the Heroes. So definitely don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Love yourself, pass that love on, and love others. And until next time, we're out of here.
Sing it with me.